Hi, Kevin Coop here, and this is FaceTime with the Content Guy. So now that Apple has named Angela Ahrendts, the CEO of Burberry, to be its new senior vice president in charge of all its retailing stuff, that's online and the Apple stores, it seems appropriate to kind of figure out what her priorities might be. Well, as it happens, Fast Company has excerpts from an interview that it did with her some time ago, in which she explains sort of what her priorities are. And I'll tell you, when you read this stuff, it almost sounds like she's got Apple DNA coursing through her veins. One of the things she says is this: the thing is, I don't ever want to be sold when I walk into a store. I want to be welcomed. The job is to be a brilliant brand ambassador. Everybody is welcome. Don't be judgmental whatsoever. Look at them in the eyes. Welcome them. How are you? Don't sell. Because that's a turnoff. What we have wanted to do is build an amazing brand experience and an amazing way that people can engage with the brand. Then it will naturally happen. And then I don't care where they buy. I only care that they buy the brand. Well, she's talking about trench coats and Burberry stuff, but she could easily be talking about laptop computers or iPads or iPads. It's amazing how you could just transpose it. And I think it's an interesting approach because it seems to reflect to a certain extent some of what Jeff Bezos says about Amazon. When he says that Amazon is not there to sell people stuff, it's there to make it easier for people to buy stuff. And that's not just a semantic difference. Now, in reflecting on her Burberry experience, Ahrendts says the following. She says, in our mind, everyone in the world should have a trench coat. And there should be a trench coat for everyone in the world. It doesn't matter your age. It doesn't matter your gender. But of course, not the same trench coat, because different people have different needs. I've never owned a Burberry, although I kind of secretly have always kind of wanted one. One of my favorite lines from Kramer versus Kramer is towards the beginning of the movie when Dustin Hoffman's character is talking to his boss and talking about how his hand shook when he had to write a check to buy his first Burberry. Writing a check tells you how old the movie was. And at one point he has this great line where he says, you make your first money, you buy yourself a Burberry coat. Well, it seems to me that one of the things that Ahrendts is going to bring to Apple is a sensibility that kind of goes beyond the idea of selling technology. She's really focused more on lifestyle. She's thinking about functionality. She's thinking about how all these things integrate together. She's thinking about design. She's not just thinking, we have computers, we have stuff, we need to sell it to people, we need to build market share. There seems to be a broader sort of sensibility in terms of how you approach people that I think seems very much in sync with what Apple Computer is all about. And the thing about this kind of approach is there's two basic kinds of retail, right? There's the kind of retail where we stock products, we sell you stuff. And then there's the kind of retail where we think of the products we sell in terms of the role that they're going to play in your lives. There's nothing wrong with either kind. They're just very, very different. Although it strikes me that the latter is both inspirational and aspirational, and I think has the higher upside. This isn't new for Apple. It's in the company's DNA. It has been since Steve Jobs. But I think it's really good for the company to have recognized that, first of all, they need somebody who thinks sort of the same way they do, but is going to bring fresh eyes and fresh energy to the company. And by the way, I don't think it's a bad thing that they have a woman in such a high position, because I think, again, it's going to bring diversity. It's going to bring a different kind of point of view to the company. Well, that's what's on my mind this Thursday morning. And as always, I want to hear what's on your mind.